The kidnappers had grown careless, drunk on their evil victories. One of them always slept by the door, but tonight his bottle lay beside him, half empty. As midnight neared, the three crawled quietly toward the back of the hut. Kemi's heart beat so loud she feared it would wake the guards. Toby used a small sharp stone to cut through the rope around their hands. It took forever, but finally, the ropes loosened. "Now," he whispered. They slipped out into the night, running barefoot through the thick forest. The air smelled of rain and fear. Behind them, a shout broke the silence. "They are escaping." Torches lit up. Voices roared. The forest came alive with chaos. Kemi ran faster, her breath sharp, her eyes fixed on the darkness ahead. Branches slapped Kemi's face as she ran. Her legs ached, but she didn't stop. Behind her, torches flickered like angry fireflies, and voices shouted, "Catch them. Don't let them escape." Maria tripped and fell, her scream slicing through the night. Toby pulled her up, but the kidnappers were getting closer. "Keep running," he shouted. They reached a small stream. The water was cold, rushing fast. Toby helped them cross, but their wet clothes slowed them down. Suddenly, a gunshot echoed. Maria cried out, "It missed, but barely." "We can't outrun them forever," Kemi panted. "We must hide." They crawled under a fallen tree, pressing their bodies into the mud. The kidnappers passed by, their torches waving wildly. For a moment, everything went quiet. Then a low voice said, "They are near. Spread out." Kemi held her breath, her heart thumping like a drum in the dark. They waited, barely breathing, but fate was cruel. A beam of light hit Kemi's face. "Here," a voice shouted. Before she could move, rough hands dragged her out from under the tree. Maria screamed as another man grabbed her. Toby fought back, punching one kidnapper, but a gun handle struck his head. He fell, bleeding. The kidnappers tied them again, tighter this time. "You think you can run?" one sneered, kicking Toby's side. "Tomorrow night, you die first." Back in the hut, Kemi cried silently. The air smelled of smoke and blood. Maria's face was swollen from slaps. Toby lay weak, barely speaking. When the guards left, Kemi whispered, "We almost made it." Toby smiled faintly. "Don't lose hope," he said, his voice breaking. But deep inside, Kemi knew the next midnight, someone among them would surely die again, and it could be anyone. Midnight came again, cruel and cold. The kidnappers stormed in with lanterns. "Tonight, it's the boy," their leader said, pointing at Toby. Kemi's heart shattered. Maria screamed, "No. Take me instead," but they pushed her aside. Toby was dragged out, his face pale yet calm. "Please," he begged, "I'm a lab technician. If you need blood, I can bring you pints from the hospital, just don't kill me." They only laughed. One of them spat on the ground. "We don't need your blood, we take our own." Moments later, Kemi heard the chanting begin, then a horrible silence followed by a sharp scream that froze her soul. She covered her ears, shaking uncontrollably. When they brought his lifeless body back, Kemi fell to the ground and wept until her voice disappeared. In that moment, she realized there was no mercy in this forest. Only death waited. The next day, the kidnappers were restless, whispering among themselves. Kemi sat in a corner, weak and hollow. She hadn't eaten in 2 days. Maria lay beside her, her eyes swollen from crying. "I can't take this anymore," she murmured. Night came too quickly. The men entered again, their faces hard and hungry. "Tonight, it's the girl with the long hair," one said, pointing at Maria. Kemi screamed, "No. Please, not her," but a heavy blow silenced her. Maria clung to Kemi's hand. "If you survive," she whispered, "tell my mother I tried to come home." They dragged Maria out into the darkness. Moments later, the sound Kemi dreaded most echoed through the forest, a piercing scream that ended in sudden silence. Kemi laid helpless on the cold floor, her hands and feet tied, tears streaming down her face. The truth struck her like a blade: she was now the only one left alive. That evening, the air grew thick and heavy. Outside, the kidnappers laughed loudly, their fire crackling under the night sky. Inside the hut, Kemi sat in silence, trembling. Every bone in her body ached, but fear kept her awake. She had seen too much death, too much horror, to even dare close her eyes again. In that moment, she knew if help didn't come soon, by the next sunrise, she would be gone too. One of the guards entered, pointing at her. "You. Tomorrow night, it's your turn." His words sank deep into her soul like a knife. When he left, Kemi broke down completely. She cried until her voice faded. Then she began to sing, a soft hymn her mother used to sing during storms. "Lord, deliver me, save me from evil," she prayed. Her voice filled the room, trembling but strong. Lightning flashed outside, followed by distant thunder. Kemi looked up through her tears. "If you are still God," she whispered, "show yourself tonight." It was her final prayer before dawn broke. Midnight came with heavy rain. The kidnappers gathered around the fire, preparing their ritual tools. Kemi sat trembling, her hands and legs still tied, whispering prayers beneath her breath. One of the men rose and said, "It's time. Bring her out." As they approached, another man shouted, "Wait. I said tomorrow, not tonight." "Shut up," the leader barked. "We will finish it now." They began to argue. Voices rose, curses flew, and suddenly one struck the other with a stick. Chaos broke out, men shouting, fighting, knives flashing. Thunder crashed above them like a voice from heaven. Kemi felt something loosen on her wrist and legs. The rope slipped off. Her eyes widened. Without thinking, she quickly crawled out through the side of the hut and ran into the forest. The rain poured harder. Lightning struck nearby. Behind her, a scream echoed, and one of the kidnappers asked the other, "Did you just hit me?" Kemi kept running. Kemi ran barefoot through the forest, branches tearing at her skin. The storm roared, but she didn't stop. Behind her, she heard angry shouts. The kidnappers had noticed she was gone. "Find her," one screamed. Thunder struck again, lighting the path for a moment before darkness swallowed it back. Her lungs burned, her legs weak, but fear pushed her forward. She stumbled, fell, and crawled until her knees bled. Then, ahead, she saw faint headlights glimmering through the rain. And Kemi saw a road ahead. Her heart jumped, there was still hope. She ran toward it as fast as she could, waving her hands and shouting for help. Just then, a car came speeding through the rain and stopped suddenly in front of her. Then a man jumped out, shocked to see her drenched and trembling. "Help me," she cried. "They are after me." He opened the door quickly, pulling her inside. As the car sped off, Kemi looked back one last time. Lightning flashed again, revealing the forest she would never forget. She was free, but forever changed.